Welcome guys, another episode of ULTRAKILL. So today I'm gonna be explaining ULTRAKILL's final war. So everybody can know lore. I mean ULTRAKILL's final war lore. And this idea mainly came up to me because I did kinda wanted to make a lore video a very long time ago, but then I had to wait to TREACHERY because I do want to get the whole entire ULTRAKILL lore before I make the entire lore video in the first place, you know, like, gotta get my facts right here, okay? And so I decided to take like a bit of a minor like time capsule for it, but I gotta digress. It is gonna come up soon once TREACHERY releases, or ULTRAKILL fully releases, basically. And for now, I'm gonna talk about like the ULTRAKILL Final War because that one's my preferable one, because I actually quite like the Final War's lore. Actually, quite a bit of my favorite, if I'm being honest. Anyhow, so basically, the ULTRAKILL's Final War basically starts with World War I, and to start off with World War I, we're gonna start off with the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, which, well, basically stems from Archduke Ferdinand is sitting in the car, and then some Serbian dude who didn't like him at the time decided to assassinate him, and then accidentally assassinate his wife, which caused the entirety of Austria to be extremely angry and go to war against Serbia, which they recruited Germany for, and Serbia recruited, I believe, Russia, I believe. I think I might get my facts wrong on that, I think, because it's been a long time since I learned history, so I might have gotten that facts wrong, actually. So someone can fact check me on that. Anyhow, so after that, after the war was started, it was supposed to be like, I think, like a small war, but then other countries had beef with Germany and Russia and decided to join the war, and then other smaller countries joined in, and then we got World War I. But this is where like the timeline diverges, because World War I happens in ULTRAKILL, but instead of being, well, World War I, it's the final war, basically. So what changed was basically, instead of like continuous trench warfare, the Russians created the gutter man, which ended the trench warfare, which practically made humans obsolete. Also, they also invented like electric guns and stuff, but that's kind of minor to the lore, because, you know, I don't really care that much about it. I mean, it's a cool fact, but like there's not really any significance to the lore of Final War, so I'm not gonna cover it. I mean, it created the weapons, but like I don't think it's that significant to me, but it might be to somebody. But anyhow, so basically the Final War didn't need humans anymore, so humans, I mean countries, decided to develop new blood machines to counteract the gutter man, and thus humans are now obsolete in the Final War, which everybody celebrated at first until they realized, well, as you can see, you're in the middle of war, which means one or two things. One, you're gonna run out of resources because countries and the military needs resources to develop the weapons to continue the war, the endless, meaningless war that they created. And now they're in a famine, and they're now in poverty, and they don't have resources to live now, which, well, kind of sucks. And talking about the Gutterman lore, which I believe is pretty important into the Final War, which I would now cover. Which basically, the Gutterman, since it was the first blood machine, its way of keeping blood was inefficient, to say the least. Which basically, summarizing it, basically like they put live human beings in there with minimal life support and just use them as the fuel, which was so bad and so horrific of a crime that even hell, the incarnation of evil, decided to take notice and use it as a reference. I'm not joking. But continue to talk about a bit about more about the thing. The gutter man was developed by the Russians, so the Russians decided, or the Russian government decided, to use that as propaganda, as they said these were volunteers, aka like war heroes, people who are respectful, or like pretty much like people who volunteered to go inside of it, but in reality they weren't, because nobody wants to be in a giant machine that kills people and be barely alive in it. You know, nobody wants to be in that type of machine. Then the Germans created the goddamn tanks, which are made to counteract the goddamn men, which their main purpose for the war was to flush out like the people in the trenches of the final war. Like before, people were like obsolete, the people were in the trenches and the other men were deployed to, you know, flush them out so the other side can just shoot them. Because what are you gonna do against a giant machine with a Gatling gun and a giant shield that's considerably impenetrable from any weapon? You can't do shit. Not gonna lie, you can't really do anything. And no human was capable of killing one of these things. And also one of the things about the goddamn man, and also about the blood from the blood machines, is that they gave them sentience. But that's another topic I'll talk about. It's a different section of the lore actually. But yeah, after that, as I said, the goddamn tanks were made to counteract the goddamn man, which basically stems from the fact they have like an arm that supposedly counteracts the goddamn man's shield, which is supposed to break it, which, you know, makes a lot of sense, because in the game we can see it like straight up one-shotting goddamn man with it. After that, and the goddamn man falls and they're killing it because of his heavy weight, because it's fat and a chud. Anyhow, so like the goddamn tanks had a rocket launcher. I'm not sure what the rocket launcher was for. Like, I don't know how it's gonna counteract it, because like the goddamn man can intercept it with a Gatling gun, but maybe because like they can break the shield, so they after they broke the shield, the goddamn man is gonna be incapacitated. After that, they just shoot the rocket launcher at them, which makes them a prime target, which kind of makes sense. But after that, after development of the goddamn man and the goddamn tanks, created the 200-year-long arms race, and humans were not obsolete. As I said, they celebrated, but like as I said, because of war being war, they kind of did not have resources to basically have the living necessities. And since all the resources were not hogged for war, yeah, a lot of people lived in poverty during the final war, which was not great, and it's pretty grim dark if you ask me. But war is war. That war is supposed to be bad, so don't do war, kids. Anyhow, so yeah, that's the entirety of the first and second phase of the final war. And the second phase cultivated to the point where the Earth Movers got created, which they were created in 2014 by the Japanese, which is funny because the Earth Movers to me are ULTRAKILL's version of the nuke. And if you know real life relevance and the correlation, yeah, you can tell why it's kind of hilarious to me right now, because the context matters, you know. It's basically the context, you know, like it's a matter of context. But like at the same time, the Earth Movers were basically the pinnacle of the final war. Anyhow, after that, the Earth Movers got deployed, which I believe like there were multiple, and the Earth Movers were so large and big that they couldn't be powered by blood only. They had to be powered by solar energy, which would come up a bit later, because there is a major reason why the final war ended, and it's mainly because of the Earth Movers. And it's not because they destroyed everything, I mean, kinda, but like at the same time, I don't think destroying everything would have stopped humanity from like, you know, continuing the war. But we don't really care. Anyhow, so like the Earth Movers was so destructive that they burnt the Earth's surface, basically making it inhabitable for anything, because it's just too hot to step on, or to even live on, or anything to even like be there. So like people had to live on the Earth Movers, and in an unknown amount of time, aka us, gets created, aka V1, to counteract the Earth Movers. And V1, the way it counteracts the Earth Movers, you see, the problem with the Earth Movers is that they have an impenetrable shield, so like they can't really be quote-unquote destroy like the normal way. And since they have like a giant spear, and most likely, I don't think they thought about like using absolute destruction. They thought about using a small, tiny little thing, and gave it a special little experimental plating that allows it to absorb blood whilst it's going about, which is kind of a powerful hack considering the fact that everything is powered by blood, and the fact that it can also regenerate from the fact that it can absorb blood is pretty much terrifying, and the fact that it's fast as fuck made it even more terrifying. AKA V1 is an absolute killing machine. Like, no pun intended. Like, there is a reason why the Earth Movers were absolutely screaming at us. They weren't screaming in dominance, they were screaming in fear during 7-4. Because they don't recognize us, or they kinda do, which makes them afraid because they know that you are the biggest threat. And since V1 is a counter to Earth Movers, you thought that maybe V1 ended the Earth Movers, but remember when I said that the fact that they were powered by solar energy would have come in handy? You see, the Earth Movers' destruction was so potent that, well, it blocked off the sun. So, basically the Earth Movers shut down because of themselves. And the final war ended there because people kind of forgot why they were fighting, and there was like no reason to fight at all, which is kind of hilarious because, you know, the fact that they decided that I think this should be enough after they created literal nukes and annihilated the entire planet, becoming not habitable for any single animal. Yeah, my English is great, by the way. Anyhow, so like, to a point that they just couldn't live in it anymore, and so they developed the street cleaners to clean up the mess they created, basically. So after that, they just kind of lived on the Earth for a while and created a bit more machines before going to hell expeditions to find more power, because they have limited humans left, and so they can use blood fuel anymore. So they have to find more power, which led to their extinction, and now leads to us. I know it's a brief summary of the new piece, but like at the same time, I can't really cover the new piece while covering the final war. Anyhow, that's about it for the video. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, guys. It's been a rough past 6 weeks because the college assignments are taking a lot of my attention, because I do want to get like really high grades. And currently I'm like 6th week right now, about to get to my midterm, so don't expect more videos, because definitely after midterms I am going to be swarmed with projects after projects. And I have some minor family issues right now with, it's just a minor one, it's not really a big deal. I mean, to be fair, I did get hit because of it, but you don't need to worry about me about that. I'm pretty durable myself. I would never die, okay? Ichi never dies. And also, yeah, I guess that's really about it for the video. Don't worry about me too much. Anyhow, that's really about it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. If you didn't, like and subscribe. And that's really about it for the video. Also, comment in some misinformation that I missed out, because I only did like a brief research, so I'm not really 100% certain that I am actually correct in my information on the lore here. So you can definitely comment down what I missed and what I got wrong, and I'll definitely thank you. I thank you for that, because that is a really good thing that I really need, aka wake up call. Anyhow, so I guess that's about the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe, nerds, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, bye. Man, my ADHD really kicked in there.